In the dim light of a late show, a host once joked about singing a saloon song, but behind the charm of old Hollywood was a different kind of darkness. In 1955, a teenage actress walked into a famous Los Angeles hotel full of hope. Hours later, she emerged trembling, her innocence stolen. Her mother told her to stay quiet. Silence was survival in an industry that protected its stars at all costs. She wasn't the only one. Many of the faces that lit up cinema screens were hiding stories of abuse, cruelty, and corruption. Fame was their shield and Hollywood looked away. Errol Flynn was one of the first to fall under public suspicion. In 1942, he was at the peak of his career, adored for his swagger and heroism on screen. But when two girls, Betty Hansen, 17, and Peggy Satterley, 15, accused him of statutory rape, the illusion cracked. California's age of consent was 18, and though the defense worked tirelessly to discredit the girls, the facts lingered. His lawyer, Jerry Giesler, picked apart inconsistencies and dragged their reputations through the mud, a tactic common at the time. Flynn was acquitted after only 24 hours of jury deliberation, but the trial left a scar. The phrase "in like Flynn" became synonymous with getting away with anything, and while he walked free, his legacy never fully recovered. Marlon Brando, another Hollywood icon, lived in constant contradiction. He was a revolutionary actor and a chaos addict. After his 1973 Oscar boycott, he joined Native American activists at Wounded Knee, thinking it was symbolic until bullets started flying. Brando sought meaning through turmoil. He joined protests, toyed with absurd humor, hiding fart machines and fake cockroaches in his home, and teetered between genius and cruelty. His family life was haunted by tragedy. His son Christian shot and killed his sister Cheyenne's boyfriend, and years later Cheyenne took her own life. Brando's brilliance on screen was undeniable, but off-screen he was volatile, manipulative, and broken by his own contradictions. Joan Crawford was another figure whose public perfection masked private horror. To the world, she was the epitome of grace. To her children, she was a nightmare. After her death, her daughter Christina exposed years of abuse in Mommy Dearest. Beatings with wire hangers, starvation as punishment, and emotional cruelty painted a picture of a woman consumed by control. Christina's brother Christopher confirmed it, adding stories of being tied to his bed and burned by fire as punishment. Hollywood mourned Crawford as a legend, but her children remembered a monster who cared more for image than love. Bette Davis was fierce, talented, and ruthless. Her ambition left wreckage in its wake. She endured abortions forced by her husband and later ended pregnancies with director William Wyler and mogul Howard Hughes. Davis fought bitterly with co-stars, including Miriam Hopkins, and left Warner Brothers without a single farewell after 18 years. Her daughter, B.D. Hyman, later described a mother who could be vicious and manipulative. Davis gave wedding gifts of liquor to recovering alcoholics and made enemies faster than friends. Her talent was legendary, but her empathy was missing. Laurence Olivier, revered as one of the greatest actors of the century, was admired for his brilliance and feared for his cruelty. His marriage to Vivien Leigh looked golden, but behind closed doors it was violent and cruel. He once hit her so hard she struck her head on a marble table. He admitted jealousy and rage so intense that he nearly attacked her with her own Oscar. Leigh, who battled manic depression, was often locked away or institutionalized by Olivier, subjected to electroshock treatments while he pursued affairs. He punched co-star Maggie Smith unconscious during rehearsal and mocked Marilyn Monroe relentlessly, calling her stupid and unworthy. Power and ego fueled him more than art. Kirk Douglas carried a different kind of darkness. In 1955, he was already a celebrated leading man when Natalie Wood, just 16, was brought to meet him at the Chateau Marmont. She returned hours later shattered and silent. Her mother told her to forget it. Decades later, Natalie's sister Lana revealed in her memoir that Douglas had raped her. No charges were ever filed, but those who knew Natalie believed it. Douglas died honored as a legend, his statues gleaming while whispers of his past refused to fade. Charlie Chaplin, the man who made the world laugh without words, was another who hid behind the mask of genius. In 1942, actress Joan Barry accused him of fathering her child. Though blood tests proved he wasn't the father, the court forced him to pay support anyway. FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover used the scandal to destroy him, accusing Chaplin of immorality and communist sympathies. But Chaplin's darker truths were already public. His second wife, Lita Gray, was 16 when they married. Her divorce testimony described disturbing sexual behavior and abuse. He later married several more teenagers, and when he finally left for Europe in 1952, the U.S. quietly refused to let him return. Frank Sinatra embodied charm and volatility in equal measure. His voice made him immortal, but his temper was infamous. At the Sands Hotel, he once threw hot coffee at the casino manager after being denied free chips, and was knocked down in retaliation. He ordered mob friends to kill the man but was ignored. When President Kennedy canceled a planned stay at Sinatra's estate, Sinatra destroyed the guest suite and smashed his helipad with a sledgehammer. He terrorized co-stars and journalists alike, throwing punches and paying off victims. Sinatra was both velvet and violence, beloved, untouchable, and dangerous. Humphrey Bogart's legend was built on cool detachment, but at home with his wife Mayo Method, it was pure chaos. Their house earned the nickname Sluggy Hollow for her drunken alter ego, and their fights were brutal: stabbings, bruises, fires, and gun threats. Bogart wasn't just a victim. He hit back, staying locked in a cycle of violence. Even with Lauren Bacall, his great love, the rage simmered beneath the surface. He was charming until midday, friends joked, and then no one knew which Bogart they'd get. Vivien Leigh, Olivier's tormented wife, battled bipolar disorder in a world that didn't understand it. On stage, she would break down mid-performance, shouting at castmates and later remembering nothing. Her manic episodes led to affairs and dangerous impulses, once nearly leaping from a plane mid-flight. Her breakdown on the set of Elephant Walk led to her being institutionalized and subjected to shock therapy. Physical illness joined mental torment, and tuberculosis eventually claimed her life at 53. She was remembered for her haunting beauty, but her brilliance came at the cost of her sanity. Mickey Rooney's story began in the golden glow of childhood stardom. In the 1940s, he was the highest-paid actor in America, but his personal life was a storm of broken marriages and scandals. In 1966, his fifth wife, Barbara Thomason, was murdered by her lover in Rooney's own home. Though he was innocent, the event shattered him. As the years went on, financial ruin followed. In his final years, he was exploited by his stepson, who controlled his finances, isolated him, and withheld his medication.